What's up, everybody? Share this. Yo, 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 yo. What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to have a hell of a show today. We got Mark Vyne in the studio. I got Frank Greer coming in and Gary Milos. We're talking tire prep. So get ready, guys. It's going to be a fun night. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, and good morning, because we are worldwide, ladies and gentlemen. We are everywhere. I appreciate everybody hanging in there. I got a computer malfunction though, Mark. What's up, everybody? I got Mark Vyne sitting beside me. We got a computer problem.
We do?
It's okay, dude. I got this. It's just sitting there spinning. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. It's my second time on the show today, so I had to do a waffle today, Mark.
A waffle?
I did a waffle, dude. I did 4 waffles today. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Mark Vyne, Gary Milos, Frank Greer, they're going to be talking tire prep, okay? I know there's going to be a ton of comments. I'm going to do the best I can as fast as I can to stay up with the comments, guys. So just bear with me, okay? If I don't get to your comment, please just send it to me again or something, okay, guys? Because I'm telling you, it's going to get wild. What's up? Brian Willis is in the house from the Texas Maid. Arroyo Joe's is in the house. What's going on, man? Let's see. You got a lot of people here, Mark.
This is going to be a good one.
Everybody wants to see what the hell is going on in the tire prep.
Okay?
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay.
How can you hear me? Good?
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. We kind of got a little game plan going here.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on. I got to bring in Frank and Gary in just a little bit. I'm waiting on Frank to come in.
Okay.
As soon as this changes, then Frank will be in. We might have a tough time getting Frank on. We might have to bring him in via phone.
Okay.
For some reason, the link,
Android?
it's not working.
Yep.
So let's see what Frank says, and then we'll go from there.
This show is kind of dedicated to Frank, so if we can get him on here.
We're going to get him. We're going to get him. It might be.
He's the traction guy.
It might be. I'm just waiting on him. As soon as I see him here, we're ready to rock. Let's see what he says. How was your day? Good?
It was busy. It was actually a pretty bad day. It was a busy day. We just moved and I'm living out of boxes.
You've been living out of boxes since you and I went to New Orleans.
Yeah, it's been a long process to get moved. So.
Yeah. I got it.
Getting better.
Okay, just bear with me, guys. Did you get it? Hey, there's a couple things that I need to talk about really quick while we get everybody going. Hey, today's my wife's birthday, so happy birthday, Wendy. I know you're watching. I went home for lunch, and she goes, "You're going live tonight, huh?" I go, No, you're fine. I said, listen, I'm going live with Mark. She goes, it's my birthday, right? I said, yeah, I got you something. Hey, so you boys, you husbands and whatever, boyfriends, listen, this is what my wife did to me today. She goes, she goes, it's my birthday. And you're going live. I go, listen. I said, yeah. I said, we're going to, we got some things we're going to do. Did you get me anything for my birthday? I said, absolutely. I got you something. It's out in the truck. She goes, go get it. I go.
She called your bluff.
I go, I said, you calling my bluff? Yep. Hey, I walked out to my truck, came in with a bag. I said, I told you.
Nice.
So don't get caught with your pants down, boys.
Well, happy birthday, Wendy. Sorry, I'm doing this.
You're good, dude.
Your birthday.
Okay, let me try to invite Frank again. It didn't work. For some reason, it didn't work. Bear with me. We might have to do it over the phone. That'll be all right, though, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Frank.
While you're trying to figure that out, I do have.
I got this. Go.
Something I wanted to just say is I had this interesting experience where I had at King of the Streets, I had Spencer Rivkin come up to me, and Spencer and Mayfield were like watching, and it was cool to have him there.
I saw him there.
Some of the best in the world. And talking with Spencer, he's like, man, I don't know, how would I get into this and be able to compete with how fast everybody is now, right? I mean, the times are just ridiculous, and it's intimidating. And I started thinking about that, and it's it's a world champion saying, "Man, how would I compete?" And it was just an odd. It was like I was in the Twilight Zone for a second. But it made me think about the faster that people go and the higher the bar is elevated. I think now more than ever it's so important to share information for new people to get involved.
Yeah, agreed.
Because if we want to continue this growing, and a guy comes in and sees a 1.7 or a 1.8 run, and he can only run a 2.5, the frustration level is going to get high real fast. So now more than ever is extremely important to share information to keep this whole thing growing, because the bar is raised so high with some of these past races.
I had a conversation with somebody about that same thing that you just said. And I'm not going to say who it was. He's pretty high up in the manufacturing game, Mark.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that exact same thing about Frank, hang on, man. I'm going to send it to you. Hang on. We were talking about, Samantha doing a 1.6, 8.
Yeah.
Right?
That car had me covered by over a tenth. That car was what's cool, but not to interrupt you, but what's cool about that race is the fastest car won that race. It wasn't a 230. Last year it was a 228 car. This year was a 168. That's how far this has progressed.
I know.
And it was a cool thing to see. The fastest car won that event.
Crazy.
I mean, that's the way it should have been.
That's the way it should have been, right?
Yeah.
So this guy and I were talking the other day. Again, I'm not giving nobody names, but he's pretty high up in the manufacturing chain, all right? And we were just kind of talking. I said, what's your thoughts on people, the beginners, or even Marker, even the guys that travel, from, let's just say, Florida to Las Vegas? Is that going to stop the people from traveling, knowing that
it's a factor? It's definitely a factor. I mean, I think the pool of people need to stay competitive, and the information needs to be out there to entice the new people to get involved. And if that stops, this growth is going to shrink. It's going to get smaller, not bigger. And it's important. It's important to form teams and work together and not get frustrated. And it's important when you figure something out to share it. And I was just talking. I have a couple groups that I'm involved with, and it's a hot topic on how much do you share and how much do you don't share. And in my experience, and I mean I haven't mentioned this in a while, but my experience has been with the Bullet. And you look at the Bullet chassis, super simple, and I got it to work really good, and then I put all the information out there. I shared everything, my way I tune, the prep, everything. To build my exact car, and that formed this huge pool of people running and figuring stuff out and building stuff for that car. And you'd think it would be hard to win because of that, but it actually made that car and that group stronger, and I think that's why that became so successful. It was an accidental business model that worked really well. Where we put something out,
I like that, accidental business model.
Yeah, we put something out there that was simple, and we showed people how to do it, and then everybody got fast together, and companies came on board to build stuff for it, and it became this big community of people that made the car really fast for that time. And I think to follow that, Dustin just made this new upgrade to the Apollo, and his car, I didn't believe it at the time. I'm like, my car was the fastest, and you want to think that it's but he was the fastest out of our group.
In Vegas.
Okay. And his car looked like one of the slowest because it was so stable. So I didn't realize how fast it was because the car ran so smooth and so stable.
Yeah.
So
did you know he had the upgrade in Vegas?
Yes.
You did.
And he offered that to the team, but I just had a good showing in New Orleans, and I didn't want to change my car.
Yeah, right.
I know R1 offered me some products, and Dustin offered me some products, and I thought I had a great car for King of the Streets. I'm like, I don't want to touch it. So I went out there, and I think I did pretty good. But I don't think, even if I could have made it all the way to race Samantha, I'm pretty sure she had me covered. That after looking at the data, she was really, really fast.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's get Frank on the line, guys. Frank Greer, I'm calling you right now, my friend. Let's get Frankie boy. And then what we'll do is we'll send Gary his, because he has an iPhone. That's easy.
Okay. And Frank's always got to be different. It's got to have the Android.
Frank has got to have the Android.
Yep.
You there?
Yep.
What's up, Frankie B?
Hey, how's it going?
All right, brother. Dude, there's a lot of people want to talk to you.
Yeah, this damn Android. I must be old school or something. I don't know.
Hey, old school's
You got a
okay
flip phone,
sometimes,
or
Frank.
He's got like a Cricket or a flip phone or something.
You got what? You got a Cricket?
It's not. It's one of them clams.
Well, unfortunately, we couldn't get Frank on the video, but that's okay. We can hear him, and then what we'll do is I'll send Gary the link,
Yeah.
so we'll be able to see Gary. As you can see, we got Gary Monster Grip, his banner on our show today. But here's the deal, though, and Mark and I have been talking about it. There's so many preps out there.
Mm-hmm.
Is there 1,000 yet?
There's a lot.
There's a lot, right? So, Gary's the one guy we're going to be talking about more, but we're going to be talking about other people's preps too while we're on this show for sure.
Yeah, me and Frank just talked earlier, and it's like I think this is evolving to kind of start off with the prep stuff, where we ran. The reason why me and Frank became teammates was traction and prep, and Frank's I think one of the best.
He's the man, right?
Yeah, he's the traction guy, and how we've started with prep was way back with Ultra Blue, and we just talked about that briefly. But then I remember doing a burnout on the local road here, and Todd Saltero comes over and does this burnout, and it's super loud, and I'm like, what the heck? What is that stuff, right? And he was nice enough. He's like, hey, this is my buddy's prep, and it was reaction time. So we put reaction time on the tires, and it worked really good. We solely, I think, Frank, used reaction time prep for like a year.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, like it was dominant for a year. It was winning all the events. Tony was a great supporter, still is a great supporter of us, and it worked extremely well. And one of the funny stories was when Voodoo first came out, I had one of the first sets in Arizona and.
Of Voodoos.
Yeah. And I did. It was on your road, actually. This is antics that happened on your.
Right here? Yeah.
Where I was going to test the Voodoos out, and I do a burnout, and it's just super loud with reaction time prep. And I go run my car, and it does a good time. And then I see Todd Saltero kind of hovering like a vulture around, like, wow, what are you guys doing? He's hovering around our pit. And then I give those tires. Frank was having a problem getting down the road, and I'm like, dude, these tires. This was before Voodoo was really known. I'm like, these tires are ridiculous. Try these. And I think, didn't you race for a body or something, Frank? Like you just totally smoked him, right? So, that was kind of the birth of Voodoo with reaction time prep, and it worked extremely well. It was funny to watch. We were kind of laughing about it. But then, so we used that for a year, and it was like there's hundreds of preps that came all over the place, and I was
quick too.
Yeah, I mean everybody was doing it. They're using stripper glitter, or there's all sorts of.
I haven't
crazy
heard that
ones.
one yet.
There's all
stripper
sorts of
glitter,
real time, real car.
There's purple
big
grank.
car. Yeah,
Gronk or whatever. Yeah. It's everywhere.
So recently, we went to Irwindale, and we got whooped by the R1 team, and I go back, and I'm on this group chat with Jeff Z. I think his last name is pronounced Zuccarello.
Zuccarello, yeah. Love that guy. Jeff Zuccarello's one of the – he is top 10 of guys that, I love talking to him. Yeah, I love Jeff. Yeah, good dude.
I'm fortunate enough to be on a group chat with him because he runs an Apollo, GFRP, and he's in a couple of the group chats that I'm in, so I get a chance to deal with him a lot. And a nice guy, very intelligent guy. And so they kill us in Irwindale. And in the group chat, Jeff mentioned it like, it could have been traction, right? But he wasn't really allowed to say what prep they were using. He's like, it could have been traction. I'm like, I was almost arrogant in saying, there's no way. We've always had massive traction.
Inside this group chat?
Yeah. I'm like, it's not a traction problem. There's no way. And later on, it came out that he was using his prep. They were using his prep. And I'm like, well, let me try some of it. So he sends me some bottles of it, and we try it, and it's really good. Obviously, it's really good. Right?
Yeah, right. A lot of people are talking about his prep, by the way. I talked to a lot of people.
That's good because I feel that there's been this relationship, and it doesn't always work on the road. And I think this has evolved into, I know me and Frank usually have 3 or 4 different preps, and we'll try each one, right? Yeah, and it was a good learning experience for me. And then going out to race with Tommy Burgess in South Carolina, I had my red Voodoos, and I had reaction time prep, and these guys are on, I heard these guys are on reaction tires, and I'm like, man, this is going to be, I'm going to slaughter them with all this traction I can make. And I go out there, and they freaking whooped me with the reaction tire, and I think it was like Roadrunner sauce or conditioner and prep.
Never heard of that one either.
Yeah, and it on that road, that generated more traction with a reaction tire than I could generate with a Supreme Voodoo Red and a at the time I thought the best prep that was out. So it was a lesson to show that time and in Irwindale that not every prep works everywhere. And so I've used I'm glad to hear that people talk a lot about Jeff's sauce.
Yes.
Because he has a great product, and I think because people are locked into sponsorships or don't want to seem like they're unfaithful, they don't mention his name, but I know his prep's being used all over the place.
All over the place.
And it's a so I think it's called, correct me if I'm wrong, is it get stuck? Right?
Yes.
Tire prep?
That's it.
Right?
Yep.
So he just sent me in brown bottles. I don't have the label for it, but so we started with reaction time, and then I've used that got stuck. That's what I was using in my when was it? New Orleans.
Right.
Miami, I was using reaction time, and then I get confused all these reasons.
No, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to cut you off,
yeah,
because there's a lot of people here. And where I'm going with this is when you go and Miami, New Orleans, Las Vegas, Irwindale.
Yeah.
Do you take 4, 5, 6 different preps?
Yep.
Because every surface is different.
Yep.
So you take different preps. So going back to what you said about, it's tough when you get one sponsor by that prep.
You can't do that.
It's tough. It's
think.
too hard,
Yeah.
right?
And I think this is evolving into the prep companies need to understand that, and it's good for the prep companies that a driver that travels or a no prep guy that travels is going to have 3 or 4 different preps in their arsenal, and you want your product to be one of them.
Yeah, right.
And it's good for the products because that means that everybody has to carry 3 or 4 of the different ones to see which one works.
Yep.
But it's the fundamental thing that we do when we get to a road we've never raced is we all try different preps and figure out which one works the best.
Yes.
And it's the foundation for everything else. The car doesn't matter. The tire doesn't matter. The weight balance, the rotor, all that shit. It doesn't matter if you're on the wrong prep. If you can't put the power down, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, right?
So it's one of the most, if not the most important things to start with to try and figure out is your prep.
Yes. And I just wanted to put that out there. Just because there's so many preps and there's so many people getting sponsored,
yep.
and I wanted to hear from you because just all the traveling that you do and the surfaces that you run, you're always trying different stuff see what's better than the other there.
There's really 3 main ones, and it's reaction time with Tony, and he has a new 1.7 that works extremely well, and I know Smashy. The runner-up in the King of the Streets was running 1.7. When I went over to his pits for the finals, he's doing a couple coats of 1.7 on there. So I know his stuff worked really good on that road.
Yep.
And then Jeff Z's stuff works extremely well, and I use that a lot. And then there's the last one that's Monster Grip, and Frank kind of brought Monster Grip in, and I'd never used it before. And recently, a story with them was, or with that prep is. I went to New Orleans and was tuning with the Texas Made guys, and we're using some of Jeff's stuff, and they had Tony's stuff, and they everybody kind of has. Ironically, we kind of had the same prep, and they really liked the reaction time prep, and they're prepping, and I'm trying Jeff's, and I was a little faster, so they changed over to Jeff's, and we all were running about 185, and then it started warming up a little bit, and my time started falling off in practice. So I'm like, I'm gonna try the Monster Grip stuff, and there's a blue and there's a red, and I put that on, and it went from the first 178 when you were out there.
Yep.
All I did was from a 183, I just changed prep.
That was it, huh?
And then so I go and blast off this crazy time, and then the Texas Made guys go and run it, out of the BMF truck and go buy whatever they need to buy, and then they sped up too. So that specific road worked the best.
There you go.
Monster Grip, right?
Perfect. What's funny is he's actually right here, Androvic.
Oh yeah, Michael. Yeah.
Actually, Brian.
Yeah.
Brian Willis says he says we went through all the prep in NOLA.
Yeah, yeah. So
No,
it's
that's
a cool kind of evolution to figure out that prep. That was a cool example of we were going really fast and we dialed in and not changing anything. We just, okay, I have this one more prep in here that Greer really likes, and he wasn't with us
Yeah,
in
right.
the race. But
Yep.
I'm like, let me try this. The car picks up 2 or 3.
That's crazy,
2 or 3
man.
hundreds, right? Yeah.
That's wild. That's actually great. That's great info for everybody that's watching.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to try different preps at different surfaces. 100%.
And
right?
I think it should be known that the prep companies need to appreciate the fact that their stuff's not going to work on every road, and not get upset and actually promote them to try all of them. And it actually is a good test to see which one is the best, right? If Jeff's works on 90% of the roads, then he should be proud of that. But he should still allow the 10% of the roads to be run on monster grip or reaction time or whatever it is.
I'll tell you like this, ladies and gentlemen. If you ever see John Schultz at a race, go look inside his box. We call it listen, we're going to have a show, Frank, we're going to have a show one day with just John Schultz and his box.
You know why that box exists?
It's called the Pandora's box.
I can tell you why that box exists.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I got a chance. He was nice enough to let me pit with him in a race. I think it was Kansas. And he was using a different prep. And I'm like, hey, try reaction time. And I gave him the reaction time, and within 5 minutes, he spilled it all over the table. Like it was on his
nice.
It was on his wire, like his charge lead, the freaking woven. I'm like, dude, just burn it, just throw it in the trash. There's no way you're gonna clean that off, right? So he's like, I gotta get a box, and I think that's how that box came about. Is he just
Pandora's
destroyed
box.
all his equipment with this sticky stuff?
So listen, I'm telling you guys, we're going to have a show about John Schultz's box one day. Every time I see him, it's called the Pandora's box. We call it the Pandora's box because it has he'll tell you, Frank, I've got 20 different preps in here. He goes, and I even have them where I have to take this one and mix with this one and mix with that one and mix with that one. Hey, the cool thing is we got Gary Milos with us ready to rock and roll.
Okay.
Yeah, so Gary, let's do this. Why is my world not working, Mr. Vyne?
I don't know.
And let's find out, because I got a charger going down. There we go. All right, Gary Milos is in the house. Let's get him on the phone. Not on the phone. I got Gary. No, I don't have Gary on the phone. I got Gary right there. What's up, Gary?
What's up, guys?
Can you hear us? Whoop, hold on.
I can hear you
Stand
fine.
by.
Can you hear me?
We can't hear you, Gary.
I'm here.
Oh,
Uh-oh, we lost
there
him.
he goes.
There we go.
He's back.
Can you hear me
He's
now?
back. Gary,
Can you
can
hear
you
me?
hear us?
I can hear you.
No, we can't hear you. We can't hear you for some reason.
I don't know why.
There's a panic that's set in his face.
No, it's all good. Don't panic. Don't panic. We'll figure it out, Gary. Hey, while we get Gary on here, when you change tire prep, do you use a new set of tires?
No.
No, that's
Same
for
tire.
Same tire.
Brent Clanton. That was for you, my friend. No, they use the same. Just clean it up.
You clean it really good, and we use naphtha. I use Frank's stuff, the pink lemonade.
Oh,
to
they
clean
said
the
they
tire.
could hear Gary, but you and I couldn't hear Gary.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's odd.
That's not going to be good.
Okay, no, hold on. That's really odd. My wife just said we can hear him, but
Can you hear me?
I don't know, guys. That's super odd.
How can we hear Frank? He's called in.
Well,
Not hear us switcher.
everybody can hear him. We can't hear him though. We might have to. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'll be honest with you, man. I do this all day, every day, and nothing's changed.
Can we call him?
We can call him. Yeah, absolutely.
Why don't you have him hang up because he's on an iPhone system, and you call him and have him join?
Yeah, hey Gary, I'm gonna call you. Yeah, sorry, bro.
Okay.
Hey, listen, this is what happens when
Sorry.
you're live, guys. Sorry. We'll get him on the phone right now. I'm calling you right now. Hey, Frank, hold on, okay?
Yep.
I'm gonna three-way you guys. Just 1 sec. I apologize, guys. That has never happened to me. Everybody can hear him, but they can't hear us. I always mess around when I dial somebody's number. 622-64.
Don't say it out.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, million.
I'm just kidding.
867-5309.
I do that all the time.
Hello.
There you go. I can hear him.
Gary,
I can hear you now.
There we
okay.
go. I can hear you.
I apologize, guys. We're just going to do this way, but it's cool.
You're just gonna do an audio.
Yeah, we'll just
Okay.
do audio.
Okay.
It's cool.
That works.
Same thing. We're not showing nothing off, right?
No,
We're
Yeah.
good.
We'll get
Gary,
the
hey,
across.
Gary Milos, Monster Grip, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you for having me on, buddy. Thank you.
The first thing I need to say to you is thank you. Because I told Mark during my waffle today, everybody, I just messaged Gary. I said, Gary, I need some tire prep to give away. He goes, done.
Oh, that's cool. That was nice.
So I appreciate you, Mr. Milos.
Not a problem, my friend. Anything to help the prep, anything to help the RC industry, buddy.
Awesome. Love it. Okay, well, we got Frank. So now we got Mark Vyne, Frank Greer, and Gary Milos. And away we go, man.
So I was thinking, I kind of told a little bit about the history of reaction time, and then the Jeff Zuckerell sauce, and this new stuff. There's red and there's blue, right, Gary? And then you have some other stuff that is maybe even a little more crazy than that we've been testing out. So,
Correct.
you want to explain a little about what type of products you got?
Sure, I can do that. Absolutely. So what we have is and a lot of people don't know about. We have what's called a break-in formula, and there's videos on all this on my YouTube channel. I have videos on how to prep the tires. I'm actually going to be doing a brand new one because of the 2 new preps we have out. But real quick, let me give a quick shout out to my partner and manufacturer, Brian, best dude in the world. He is so open to everything that we're doing, and that is what helps us keep propelling forward, because when I bring an idea to him, he's like, I don't know, let's mix it up and see. It's awesome. So shout out to Brian Parrish. I appreciate it, and I love you, brother. So we have our break-in formula is one. Then we have our pre-grip. Our pre-grip is a treatment conditioner. And then we get into our sauces. The blue, it's called pre-grip. OG grip, excuse me. It's the first one we had out. And that one is like a mild sauce. They actually use that. It's really good in cold, like cold. It goes below 28 degrees. It's also very good in dirt. And then we have our red formula.
So you're saying
formula.
You're saying the blue is colder weather. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Okay.
blue is very good in colder weather, and it'll. I want to say greasy because ours doesn't get greasy, but in the heat, it'll break down a little quicker in the heat. So when you hit anywhere between between 117 and 120, it'll start to break down and not work quite as well.
Gotcha.
Okay, and then you would go to our red formula now, which is called Plus. Our red formula is the OG, which is a blue formula, but it's got a faster flash rate than the blue formula, and it's got 20% more tack than the blue formula. And that's our Plus formula. It's the red one.
And we've noticed too, Frank, that the red seems to be slightly stronger than the blue in comparison.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it will be. That is correct. And it also has a faster flash rate, so you're going to flash much quicker as you hit the track. So then you would move to our Formula X, which is our black formula that has the particles in the bottom of it. You have to really shake the hell out of it.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah. That stuff.
That formula is for harder tires, such as like reactions. It's because of the particles, they stick to the tires, and it gives you more traction.
Yeah, and that was noticed. Like, I know Tony Trickle, I tried some of that at Vegas in one of my qualifiers, and the tire kind of looked like sandpaper. And I know the R1 team and Tony Trickle both mentioned, like, what do you got? You know, normally you see this gloss on the tire, and it was like sandpaper. It was different, so it definitely attracted some attention. And I have some, once you finish your descriptions, I have some to add to that. Like, that kind of opens up a whole new world of prep, having a texture that could be a really good thing.
Yes. As a matter of fact, it's funny you say that, because one thing that, and then, well, let me go just 2 steps further. We have a formula out now called Crawl. We just put it out. We just finished actually our second pre-order on it, and that is called Crawl because it is specifically for the crawler world. crawler tires. That is doing very well. And then we get to our G-Force formula, which is coming out. As a matter of fact, that the first pre-order for that is going to open tomorrow. As a matter of fact, tomorrow morning. The first pre-order for G-Force will be open tomorrow morning.
Cool.
And G-Force is kind of like our Hail Mary. Strongest prep we have to date so far.
And I've tried that.
Yeah.
Like that's the stuff we've tested, right? And it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy strong.
Yep.
It's good.
That's what we're using in cuts.
Yeah, yeah. And I noticed too, like the difference. I think Jeff's stuff sticks really good, but it did start falling off with a little bit of heat, and the stuff that we were using in New Orleans, it worked really well in heat. That's what the biggest difference was. I couldn't really. There didn't seem to be that much. There's a little bit of difference, but when it got hot outside, when the temperature of the asphalt got 110 or so, or hotter, your stuff really worked good. Like it's not. It seems like a lot of the roads will go away with heat, especially here in Arizona. We have a lot of experience with a lot of hot roads, and it seems like your stuff handles heat really, really well.
Well, you know what? There's actually that's actually a very good reason for that. And forgive me, I want to make sure because I only see Mark and Billy. Was that Mark that just said that?
Yep.
Okay, I just want to make sure because I can see you, but I can't see.
No, Frank.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, I'm on the phone.
Yep, there's Frank
All
right
good.
there.
We
Yep.
had some technical difficulties. Yeah, it's
I got an Android.
That's all good.
He's
Yeah.
got an
So,
Android.
It's called Android.
Yeah.
so your heat issue, I can actually tell you that for heat, the Plus, the X, and now the G-Force, the stickier you get with our stuff. Now, let me say this, okay? But the higher the stick is with our stuff, not really the higher the stick, but the better, the higher the formula, meaning Plus, X, and now G-Force, they're going to be better for heat. They're going to take the heat better. They're going to not break down as quickly. As a matter of fact, what I can tell you is X was tested at a full-size drag race, and I'll get to that in just a second. The X was tested on a full-size drag strip on a full-size car, not X though, it was Black Label. I will get to that in a second. I'll explain that in a minute. And that was tested on a 148-degree track, and it never broke traction.
Wow.
Now, when I say full-size, let me explain that real quick because that messes a lot of people up. My partner, we make full-size prep also. These formulas, the reason these formulas work like they do, guys, these formulas come from a full-size prep called Rocket Prep. My partner has been making full-size prep for years, and I just happened to lock onto him, and he decided that he went on the journey with me to make it. Now, one of the most awesome things about our stuff is there is absolutely zero VHT in any of our preps. Our preps are all solvent-based. So they're safe for tires, they're safe for the surface, they're safe for your hands. The other nice thing about it is that when you hear a lot of guys talk about cutting, the more you cut VHT, quote unquote, the more you're limiting it, the more you're diluting it. Ours, you don't do that. What my partner does, he adds some product or he takes away some product to add or take away stick. So you're not losing anything. You're either lowering the tack rate or you're raising the tack rate. You're not going to break up or you're not going to lose your tack. Do you guys understand what I mean by that?
So you're not diluting it
Right.
with a cutter and having the cutter evaporate. You
Correct.
It's different than that.
100%. Yes. And that's one of the reasons why the Monster Grip formulas actually work like they do because they're not getting diluted. They're getting either some tack taken away or some tack added. And all it is little drops of product is a little drop of extra solvent is put in, a little drop of extra solvent is taken out. So my partner actually knows the exact amount to give and take. So in other words, when we started with T-Force, I told him, hey, we need some of this product, some of this product. Here's the amounts. We need it mixed. He put it together and it was together in a week. That's why it's very easy for him to put it together because he knows the amounts to add or take away.
Okay. That's cool. It's definitely different. It applies a little different. It doesn't smell like a solvent. It's kind of unique for sure.
Thank you.
So the other thing that I noticed, I've only tried the textured stuff a few times, and in testing, I ran some GNSS times, and then we tried it, and the burnout felt ridiculous. Like it was super good, where it could almost not do a burnout, and the time actually slowed a little, and GNSS isn't it. You can run it 10 times and it'll have 10 different numbers, but my question to Frank after that was, do you think that there's a possibility of it being too strong? Because that's how strong the stuff is it made me think, man, that stuff felt so good that maybe it's kind of like going through mud a little bit and it's too strong. And it's cool to see how strong you can make it, and the texture adds an element that, hey, maybe, do you try something over the top of it, or do you try putting a little of that texture in your other product, right? To get a little bit. The texture side of it was made me the most curious about your sauce, and I think it brought a lot of attention to other people in some of these races when they saw a sandpaper type tire. Is it opens up a lot of other opportunity that I don't know yet. We haven't tested, but you just use the stuff straight and it's super sticky. But then you might be able to mix it a little with your other stuff, or mix it even with another sauce, or I don't know. It's the first time I've ever seen a textured sauce, and it I thought that it made the tire stick further down the track. Like it didn't wear off.
Yes.
It pulled all the way down, right? Like it didn't. Normally you have like this, I feel like this golden spot of 10 feet to 60 feet where the prep is clean and you have good acceleration, your car's moving, and you have a clean tire to pull real hard. And that stuff, it felt like it pulled all the way down and it never really lost traction. There's something to that if I had to guess, I bet you other people might try and jump on board with this texture type stuff, because it's the first time I've seen it, and it's a great idea. It opens up, now do you layer stuff on it? Do you there's all sorts of possibilities now with that sauce.
Yeah, I can't remember who I talked to, but I told them I could have ran the car 200 plus feet and it still would have stayed on the tire.
We even noticed it when it came back. There's prep all over the tire still, and I was running a couple different preps, and one of the problems is it felt like the tire was completely clean, or there was no stick when it came back. And then we ran the sandpaper stuff, and it comes back with this candied apple big ball of stuff on it, like it's still super sticky. So that texture just almost gives a platform to hold a lot more stick, because there's thickness to it. There's texture to it. It's a good idea.
Thank you. That the whole idea behind that is behind the texture, and the texture, basically what the texture is, it's resin coated particles that are in there. And the idea behind it is, it was created basically for, and I'm just going to go out and say it, I usually say it was created for harder compound tires, because it really was. Like, you can use it on Hoosiers and stuff. It was created for reactions.
Yeah.
And the reason is because reactions are a much harder tire. And to be perfectly honest with you, first of all, when you were saying about mixing preps, one of the things that is great about all of our preps is, now I'm talking preps. I'm not talking the pre-grip. I'm not talking the break-in formula, just the preps alone. All the preps alone are made and designed to be able to be mixed with each other if that should be needed, necessary, desired, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
So they are made to be mixed. You can mix them. However, because of what is in them, and I don't know the proprietary blend, I don't ask my partner because he's a chemist and I am not, and I don't even try. So, but what I don't recommend is mixing them with another prep, because I don't know how the other preps would react, and I don't think it'll react real well with the VHT stuff, and I know there's VHT in most of the other preps because I know people that run all the preps.
Yeah.
So, but the Formula X is my partner's idea, and it's been around now. Believe it or not, a lot of people didn't know about it. It was actually put out last year, and it was put out originally for full-size tire, and then he removed the full-size formulas have one. It's either one or two. Again, I'm not the chemist, but it's either one or two of the formulas that create our product. He lessens one, and I think he actually moved one completely out to make it safer going from full-size tire down to the RC tires, because it'll eat up the full-size formulas will actually eat the tires on the smaller cars. It's unsafe to use. So
Yeah,
that's why my partner actually...
A full-size tire rubber is going to be a different and probably harder compound rubber than these little RC tires, so I could see that being too strong.
Yeah, exactly right. That's 100% correct.
So we haven't...
So,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So we haven't really discussed a lot about this before this show, but just off the top of my head, you have this particle you can suspend. Have you ever thought about just selling the particle, where you could mix it in a different formula? Like, I think that's a great idea. That's the first time I've ever seen it. And if it's, what would happen if some of these other preps had? Not that you have an excellent prep, and I don't want to take anything away from that because the preps you have are ridiculous. But if there's a road that another prep might stick better, but it's a real coarse road, and I want texture on that prep, it's something to think about. And I think you have the only prep that has a texture. If you offered a bottle of dust that you could mix into the prep to texturize any prep, that could be a bit. I would buy it. That would be a huge seller.
Pixie dust.
Yeah. Just throw that out there. I don't know.
I just named it for you, Gary. It's called pixie dust.
But it is such a unique idea.
It is. And you know what? My partner, I would have to talk to my partner about it, because remember, these are not my, technically, quote unquote, my formulas. He makes them for me. I could actually talk to him about that. But I don't know that he would do that. I'd have to talk to him about it to see if he would do it.
Yep.
But that is a good idea. It's a good idea. And it's sort of like you and Frank, microbeads, monster dust.
I'm sorry, man. All the names are flowing now. We've got monster dust, the glitter, microbeads.
But
Jesus.
It's such a cool idea, and there was
that's crazy.
When we were applying, when we were trying different sauces, and we were applying, for King of the Streets, I applied some stuff, and I still had some. It got slightly contaminated, and I see 5% of what the texture was when I put my prep on the next time. And, I kind of showed Frank, and we look at that like, now there's just a real fine texture on a different sauce. And is that something that, it's just another variable to try to see if you can get something to stick. But if you had a pure form of it where it wouldn't deteriorate the other type of sauce, it could be kind of cool. It's just, as this whole thing evolves, I think you might see that. It would be cool if you could be the first one to do it.
Yeah, like I said, that would be one of those things that I know that when my partner mixes stuff up, I know he's very particular about, nobody knows what's in his formulas. They're all in his head. I don't even know what is in that X. I don't know what the X is. I know that it's a resin-coated particle. That's all I know.
I think that's pretty common with every prep manufacturer, is they hold what the formula is very close, so that's a common thing. But I think right now, me and Frank have talked about, will it work better on a real textured road? I think a real smooth road, it might actually overstick or become too much.
Yep.
But on a really difficult road, it could be really good. I mean, I've just started using it. I know, Frank, you've used a little more than me, but the other thing that I thought was kind of interesting about it was, Frank, you set up cars that are super hot off the line. It's very common that you probably have the best, 30 to 60 foot in the field just about every race we do. and your car spins a lot. And I noticed with that textured prep, even with the tire spinning, it pulls super hard.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's a different aspect, right, of the texture. Is a lot of times if you spin the tire has to kind of recover, and you lose a little bit of the potential of the car. But I think you lose much less with this textured prep because it's getting like 99% of the traction, whether the tire is spinning or not. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Well, you know what? And one of the other things about, excuse me, one of the other things about the R prep and the way I use them is, and this has actually become very popular. I know I spoke to Frank about this, and he actually uses them the same way. That, from what I understand, I do not put the prep on. I clean the tire, and then I put my tire warmers on. And depending on obviously what tires I use, whether I'm running reactions or DRCs, or I'm actually waiting for my brand new blue dot reactions to come out. So depending on what tire I'm running, I will put my tire warmers on, and I've gotten a lot of people start doing this, and they agree with me. I'm doing it almost exactly like the real no prep, and that's actually where I got it from when I was watching no prep one day, and I said, I'm going to try that. I put my tire warmers on, I warm them up to whatever I need, and I go by minutes. Usually I'll go anywhere from 5 to 15, depending on the tire. I take one off at a time. I'll put the prep on that tire while it's really hot. I take the other one off, put the prep on while it's really hot, and then I unplug my tire warmers and I let it dry. What that's doing is that is actually dry or cooling and melting, for lack of a better way to put it, melting the prep into the tire and then creating an outer glaze on the tire. So what's really cool about that, I usually don't do a burnout. When I go to line, I'll do my little, like a fake little thing, and then I'll let that thing go. And what happens is, now obviously, let me correct that real quick and say it really depends on how long it's been sitting. Because if it's sitting a while, as you guys know, especially being outside, you're going to get dirt and stuff like that. They can blow around and get on the tires. So you might need to do a little on the ground to get it to flash again, to get it to start to flash. You set it down, you let it go, you're going to get that initial pack. But as that car is moving down the track into your 60-foot or 30-foot, 60-foot, it's going to start to flash with the turning of the tire and hitting the ground. It's going to create that that friction that you're going to need for it to flash, which is then going to carry you the rest of the track. So that's how I do it. And it's actually been working really well for me and a lot of other people. I'm actually getting ready to do a video to explain that on my YouTube channel, on my garage, one of my garage episodes.
Cool. Yeah, the application means a lot. And, Frank has a ton of different ways to apply stuff. Frank, you want to go? I mean, how do we want to do we want to go into how you like condition a tire and then get ready to prep and the process? Sure. If we do 1 layer or 2 layer or you want to go into a little bit about your process, Frank, of what you do?
Yeah, we can. So pretty much we start off with cleaning the tire off with the naphtha, get it nice and clean. And usually what I like to do is I like to have 2 sets of tires. That way I'm doing the process. I get the process going, and you put a couple runs in if you can on the tires that you're going to be running. The more process you do to them, the better they'll be.
So you cycle them, right?
Cycle them, exactly, yeah. So basically after the naphtha, I'll put the pink lemonade on, and then we'll go with the warmers for about 5 to 10 minutes, usually 10 minutes. And once we remove them, we will put. I like to do 2 coats. I do 1 coat, and depending on what we're using, if it's the X or if it's the G-Force, it's still 2 coats. And what I like to do is I like to make it more of a textured look, not the glass look. Mm-hmm. And pretty much, yeah, just 2 coats. I let the first coat flash. Then once that flashes, we'll either with the heat gun or on its own. Then I'll coat it again and hit it with the heat gun again, and then sand it.
And it seems like that process is good for like a half hour. Like there's a window, right, where okay, we'll get the tire ready, we'll heat it, we'll prep it, we'll heat it, we'll prep it, and then we go up to the line, and if we have a battery operated heater, we'll heat it right before we run. But if it takes too long, like we've had situations where the race is delayed, or somebody hits the timer and it takes a long time to get back, or whatever the case. If it takes a long time, sometimes we'll actually strip it back off and do the process over again if it's over like 30 or 40 minutes, right? There is a window of, you don't want to leave that on there for 2 hours.
No.
Right. 100%.
Everybody's listen. We got a lot of questions. I'm going to get to your questions, guys. I'm going to let these guys do their thing, and then we'll bring your questions in.
And the other way we used your prep was, we nicknamed it Spider-Man, where because you do have a red and a blue version of it. So we would put the what do? We put the blue, we put the red on first, the stronger of the two.
Yeah.
And
we put 2.
Called a Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Nice.
So we would mix them, and that seemed to work really well. That's actually what I was using in NOLA in New Orleans.
That was one of the preps you're using in NOLA?
Yeah, the Spider-Man. So we had red and I had blue. So you put the red on, you let it dry, and you put the blue on.
I saw somebody in here put Spider-Man earlier. I was wondering what the hell.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
The names, man.
Yeah. Frank came up with that.
Well,
of course he did.
That's actually what
George coined that one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
and then,
yeah.
That's actually and then that's what G-Force became, is that exact mixture.
Right.
And what is really awesome about that is when you guys put that on the tires, now what you were doing was kind of a 2-stage, but apparently when you mixed it like my partner did, it's actually kind of working like a 2-stage the way he did it anyway. And it's lasting, if you do it the way I'm doing it, it's actually lasting, it's lasting the full track.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely stays on.
Yeah, it's kind of been, that Spider-Man mix has been my go-to for the last few races now. Like that's a hard one to beat until Frank gave me that textured stuff, and I'm like, what the heck? That's even better.
You know what? Can I ask you a question on the textured stuff really quick? Because there's somebody here, Adam Ramsey. How do you texture it? It's already in the prep, right?
Me? Wait, what? I'm sorry. Say it again.
How do you texture it?
It's in the prep.
That's
It almost looks like beads of sand in the prep.
Yeah, it's not something you do. It's something we do. It comes in the bottle. Every time you use it, you have to shake the hell out of it to mix the prep up. It's literally in the bottle.
And I don't even know how they get that to work, because you think it all clumped together, but it
right.
doesn't. It doesn't.
Right.
It's almost like malto meal, right? Like it stays suspended. It stays suspended in that prep, and I'm not sure.
I like that better than Spider-Man.
Yeah, right.
Hey, really, really quick, guys. I need to do one shout out. Sure. I see somebody on here, and I would need to give them a shout out.
Yeah.
Hey, Staging Lanes out of Canada. That's to you. That's for you, my friend. I talked to her. She has a show up in Canada, so I just wanted to give her a shout out really quick. Sorry about that.
No problem.
We got a lot of stuff going on here, boys. Lots of stuff. I'm trying to keep up.
So we talked about doing this show, and we wanted to get this new Monster Grip stuff out, and then these other Facebook can be crazy, and all these other conversations are going on in Facebook.
Yep.
But this is we're giving up some of the speed, the foundation for how we run. We're telling you how we do it, and what products we use, and I hope people follow suit in sharing information. It's more. I mean, I said this in the beginning. It's more important now than ever to make sure that everybody, that the races are close and people want to show up and people want to get started in it.
I'm telling you, man, I've had multiple conversations with a couple people. What's going to happen to the people that travel, that come to these far races, knowing a 168 won in Vegas, man? I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting these next 6 months because all the big races that are coming up.
There is something to people go to those for the experience.
True.
And, I mean, last year I went out like second round or something. This year I went out fourth, but it's an absolute experience. And if you go to those races expecting to win, you shouldn't even go. I mean, there's such an ocean of people to try and go through.
Yeah, right.
It's luck to get all the way to the end.
Like Vegas is an experience.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you something else going to be an experience this year, guys, is Super Chips.
That's the next one.
No, Super Chips, guys, pack your bags. Yeah. Super Chips and King of Smokies, Mark.
Yep.
I'm telling you guys.
I just registered for that.
Huh?
King of the Smokies, I just registered.
You're going?
Yes.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. You travel with me if you want. Listen, guys, pack your bags because if the experience is what you're looking for and the racing, Tulsa Super Chips is where you're going to want to be next. And that's Memorial Day weekend. And then my buddy Foster's race at King of Smokies. Those are going to be the next two big experiences for sure.
So with this, Frank, has been working with Monster Grip and he brings me this sauce and Frank is kind of the traction god.
Yes, he is.
And the product works really good. So that's what the reason for this show was. Let's go on and not just show Monster Grip, but some of the other stuff we did too, or the reaction time and Jeff Z's product and Monster Grip, Zuccarello, and those are the kind of the weapons we have for the foundation of traction, and the latest one being this Monster Grip kind of new cool way to generate power or traction. And we wanted to share it so that people can test it, people can give feedback to it, people know that it's out there.
Are you Are you talking about the Spider-Man this
Both.
or
these are the processes that the exact processes we use to generate traction.
Gotcha.
And so far at a race, it's very uncommon for me to go to a race and feel like somebody makes more traction than we do. Frank does an amazing job of figuring out traction. So we're sharing how we have that advantage, or how we.
That's awesome that you guys are sharing this.
And it's the foundation for the entire day is your traction. And I think you should have 3 or 4 different traction compounds to test. And if you're at a team, everybody runs a different compound and see which one sticks the best. And if you think one's better than the other, then don't change your tune and you try one, then try the other and see what it runs.
Right.
And it's the first thing we do, and it's one of the most important, if not the most important thing we do, is figure out which prep works the best. And so far, the Monster Grip stuff seems to work really good in a lot of places.
That'll lead me right into this next question. When you guys, this is for Frank, Gary, and Mark, when you guys get to these races, is that the first thing you do?
Yep.
You just take the different preps and see what does the best.
Yep.
Right?
And I'll tune my car with Jeff's was my go-to prep for a while, where I would put Jeff's prep on. I'm pretty confident it's going to work good. And I'll tune my car to failure, where it spins. And then when I get it to failure, then, okay, I'm going to change the prep and see if it goes any faster. And that was the time where I got in New Orleans, where I got the car in the low 1/8s. And the temperature started going up, and I felt the car kind of fade a little bit. So one of the things we tested was, okay, let's go to a different prep. And the Monster Grip stuff worked great in the heat. So, and all this stuff is pretty new to us over the last month or two. So we don't know all the variables on what's going to work or what's not. Every race we learn something new.
Right.
And the other thing that a situation that is generated in large races, especially King of the Streets, is there's so much prep on the ground that you can't simulate that to test what's going to be the best. It's like a shot in the dark. And I don't know how to combat that, but I know the R1 team had it nailed because they had a lot. I don't know what they were running, but I almost think you could run no prep on a track like that, and it would haul ass down the track because there's so much on the track. That's
going to lead me into one question really quick, and Jasmine Hernandez had it, and it was to you, Mark. It's been a little while back. Hang on. She said, where'd she go? Hang on, Jazzy. I know you asked the question. Give me a sec. Oh, my God. There's so many questions. Mark, have you tested with no prep lately? Would like to know if tire technology has made a difference to true no prep. I
have, in a way I have. Like, I will test a tire with no traction compound on it to make sure it screeches or it gets the bark to it.
Okay.
And the Voodoo Red with Frank's conditioner is surprisingly grippy. I would guess that I could get a sub 2 pass with no
tire prep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now,
No prep.
Now.
because and there was, I think last year when Frank just generated this, I think, Frank, you guys went to a concrete no prep race.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And you were legitimately not running prep. And from what I heard, and I could be wrong, I don't want to accuse anybody of anything, but I heard you could pass tech by putting prep on and wiping it off and get a little film of prep where they could get some traction.
Yeah, I know it's that.
And your conditioner competed in a really good way with that. I mean, you were in contention. A few of you guys went, and you were in contention to win with a truly dry tire on concrete. So the tire technology's gotten so good, and the conditioner technology's gotten so good that, yeah. And what I don't understand is that the tire feels so good without prep on it. Why? And then the prep you put on it is so thick and so strong. Why does it matter what tire you have when you put this layer of super sticky stuff on?
Right?
But it does. It does a drastic amount, and I don't understand that.
It definitely does, and that's actually one of the things that my partner and I have been talking about, and that's one of the reasons why X came out. X came out because there were a lot of people having issues. That is actually a very, very good point, Mark. There was a lot of guys having issues with reactions. They just couldn't get, they could get traction out for about 30, maybe 60 feet. On a 66-foot run, they would do pretty well. But by the time they were reaching the 70-foot mark out to the 132, they were skating. And when my partner put out the black formula, or what we call the X formula, he's like, dude, here, try this. Tell our team drivers to try this. And when they tried it, they were like, oh my God, this sticks all the way. It actually does make sense what you're saying, because on a really hard tire like that, I can use I have a break-in formula and my pre-grip, which is my tire treatment conditioner stuff, is when I use that, and the break-in formula is actually designed to harness the heat to soften the tire when you break it in with a gun or a drill.
Yeah.
So that's how I do mine anyway. So when you do that, that actually gives it a very, very good tack. But when you use the particles, the coated resin particles that are in the X, that is why we created that, was for the harder compound tires. Yeah, you're 100% right in what you just said. Absolutely.
Yeah, I sound like a broken record, but it's a cool freaking idea to put texture in a tire. And
Yeah?
It sparked the interest of the R1 team, the tech guy, the people that saw it are like, what the hell is that, right? Like it definitely created a buzz of, and I can't remember. I know I tried Jeff's sauce, and then I tried that textured stuff.
Get stuck.
Get stuck. I always call it.
That's all right. I got you, man.
And
Get stuck. Jeff Z.
I believe I ran the fastest time that I ran with the textured tire.
No kidding.
And I was nervous about it, and then I went to my Spider-Man normal stuff for the rest of the event, and I never ran as good of a time. I didn't know what I was running at the time, right? I didn't run a GNSS or anything, but I did try that for one of the qualifiers, and I'm 99% sure that was my fastest qualifier, was with that texture stuff.
If you don't think all these guys that make prep are trying to find this pixie dust as we speak.
Yeah, they're gonna put all
it's coming.
Sorts of stuff.
Particle accelerator.
Malto meal's gonna be put in there.
Hey, I'd love to do a show on Malto meal.
Yep.
One thing I actually do want to add to everybody is, excuse me, I want to make sure everybody knows that, my one of the really badass things about being partners with my manufacturer is we are very, very open-minded to trying new things, and it doesn't have to be one of our team drivers. Anybody can come to us and say, hey, we found a void here, and we couldn't get traction here, and we think that this, and this might work. your formulas, we think that these formulas together might work. Here's the amount. If you send us that information, and again, as long as it's our prep, we have to use our formulas because our formulas just work together. But there's no limitation to what we can do. We can add, we can take away, we can do whatever, we can even recolor. But that is one of the really cool things about Monster Grip. And that, I think, is honestly, guys, I think that is what's putting us where we are in the industry because of the open-mindedness of my partner to say, you know what, this is not only my prep, this is for the guys that run it. So let's listen to what they're saying. If they're running into a problem keeping traction or they have too much traction, let's listen to them and make the changes so that they have a prep that could potentially work everywhere they go. That's the whole point of what we're trying to do.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's a great thing to have because there's no perfect situation. You need feedback to improve, right? So that's good that you have that
absolutely.
Openness.
Totally agree.
I'm just going through comments.
Going through.
God, there's so many comments. I'm trying to figure out where the hell to start. God, there's so many comments. Let me see if I can catch up really quick. Bear with me.
Hopefully Frank's Super Chip turns out the same way it turned out last year.
Jason Budzinski, will this is for everybody. Will the textured work on a real slick road, like a road that was repaved recently?
I think we're going to try it for the first time, right, Frank? Probably at Coy's, which is
his is about 4 months months paved,
chip sealed, which is even worse.
Yeah.
Oh, it's worse.
Yeah.
Oh, the chip seal is. Yeah,
it's worse.
That goes out to Budzinski's, and another one for Jason Budzinski is he put in here. I guess Frank, you helped him go the fastest he's ever gone up in Vegas.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I hooked him up with some tire love.
Frank's Tire Love. That's what you got to call your next stuff.
Yeah.
Frank's Tire Love.
That's funny.
How do you texture it? It's in the prep, Adam Ramsey. There was a guy on here I wanted you guys to address here. It's about him and his son.
We've tried that stuff on the local testing road right down the street, Frank, and the way the burnout felt there and the way the burnout felt in Vegas, I can't imagine it not working on every surface. I just don't know if it's necessary on every surface.
It's not. Once you put down that many passes, or there's 200 plus people, the track just becomes prep.
Yeah.
So you can over prep.
Yeah.
But that's where maybe like the blue, you know what I mean? The blue could come in handy, or.
Yeah, it's nice to have. It's kind of cool. We'll put on 2 coats of red, or we'll put on 2 coats of blue, or we'll do Spider-Man.
Yeah, you try everything.
You can change kind of the strength by changing how you put it on, which there's no other real sauce like that I know of right now. I mean, it's the Monster Grip stuff. I'm new to it, but it's got features that I don't think anybody else has right now. You have a strength variable between the red and the blue. You got this black that has texture to it that adds a whole new crazy thing to prep. I thought it was, talking with Frank, it was worth going on and telling everybody about this stuff.
Red, blue, and black?
I think there's blue, which is a little colder weather.
Okay.
Lighter stuff. Then there's red.
And
then there's the X, which is the 2 mixed together.
Okay.
Which I've used, and it works amazing.
Which is Spider-Man.
It is, but it's pre-mixed Spider-Man. I actually would put on the blue and then heat it, and then put on the red and then heat it. So mixing those two together, it's the same chemistry. It's just all in one. And then you have the black that's textured. And I think, Frank, we've even tried putting on the blue or the red over the black, and that works freaking amazing too, right?
Is that Spider-Man and Batman on that one?
Yeah, maybe. There you go. Yeah, it's the whole Marvel team or whatever. Yeah.
Jeez,
yeah.
Oval team.
Yeah.
Hey, I want you guys to address this for me. Gary, Milos, this goes to you. This is from Larry Walters, and he says, "My son and I are on a tight budget. I want to know what 2 you guys recommend." That's actually, let me shoot that off to you. Gary, hold off on that one. I'm going to shoot that to you because you race.
Yeah.
So answer Larry Walters and his son's question.
I actually just sent him an answer.
Oh, you
I
did?
told him to hit me up.
Okay. I'm trying to catch up to all these comments, guys. There's a lot of them.
Okay, I'm trying to get you, Billy.
No, I got you.
I'm
Thank
trying
you.
to help you out.
Have them message me too, Billy.
Okay. Larry Walters, message everybody. don't message me. I get too many.
So real quick, let me just throw out there. The way the preps work is the weakest, quote unquote, is OG grit, which is the blue.
Yep.
The next one is going to be your plus. That's a regular formula. That's the red. The next one is the G-Force. The next one is the X formula. That has the particles in it. And then there's G-Force. And then the G-Force is the brand new one that is actually coming. Well, I'm sorry, there's also the crawl formula in there, but we're talking about drag racing right now. That's why I'm not mentioning too much about crawl. But yes, crawlers out there, we do have a formula for your tires that will help you crawl rock. It's awesome. But G-Force is basically a combination of two of the different preps together that Mark and Frank both helped create.
Yeah, that stuff is super strong. Like,
Very.
this prep world's getting ridiculous how strong this stuff is. It used to be like you stick two tires together and it's like, oh man, look at that. I mean, you can pick up the whole friggin' car now. It's ridiculous.
Andrew Frederick says the last time I used X, I had people asking me what the hell I was putting on my tires. People are not ready for X yet.
There was a guy.
Go ahead, Gary. Sorry.
There was one of my team drivers. This is actually kind of a funny story, and I wish I still had the picture, but I don't. One of my team drivers one day, his name is Ricky Reed. He may even be in here. I know they're all sick right now, so I don't know if he's on here, but he might be. He was testing one day with X. He went out and he made, I think it was 1 to 2 passes on X. He brought his tires back into the house, stuck it to a wall, and it stayed there for 6 hours. Even after 2 passes on it. I think it was 2 passes on it. It stayed on that wall for 6 hours.
I believe it.
Yep.
It was ridiculous.
This goes to Frank. Do you use a heat gun or hot bands or both, Frank?
So I use hot bands to cook the conditioner in. And then I use a heat gun to flash the prep.
Okay.
Yeah, some do.
You don't want to use the hot bands on the prep. You just remove it.
Gotcha.
Yep, agreed. That's why I do hot bands and heat first, then I do prep.
It seems like you want to get rid of the moisture in the prep. So the bands, if you try and do that, it holds the moisture in. We found
with the bands.
Yeah. So we use it for initial heat, and then right before we race, we heat them up with the gun, and it lets any of the moisture escape. The bands kind of hold it in.
There's just so much going on.
So hang on, let me answer this one real quick because I see this one. Jeremy White, X depends. It really depends on what tires you're using X on as to how difficult it is to clean off. One thing I can tell you is if you're using it on a really soft compound tire, and I'm going to just use DRCs because I use DRCs also. If you're using it on like a DRC, it's going to be you're going to have to use a little elbow grease to get it off, that's for sure. It will come off, but I personally, now this is me, I do not recommend using X on a really, really soft tire. I'm not saying you can't, and it will work, but you're going to be doing some scrubbing to get it off, just so you're aware. It does work, but it's going to take you a little longer to get it off. It's going to need a little bit more elbow grease. And when I clean my tires, I get asked this a lot. I tried naphtha. I don't really like how naphtha leaves a bit of a film on it. So I actually use non-chlorinated brake clean, and it actually leaves the tires a little sticky. So when I heat them, they're getting a little stickier. And then when I take the tire warmers off each tire, when I put the prep on, the prep really sticks and really gets into the tire. That's how I do it.
Well, okay, so but hold on though. Go back to the DRC that you're talking about. Which compound are you using?
I've used, well, I have the 30s
Okay.
and I have the 20s. The 20s are brand new in the bag because I haven't used them yet. 'Cause my DRC 30s are brand new.
Gotcha.
However, with my DRC 30s, I'm sorry, my 20s are brand new. Sorry, guys. I'm really tired. It's been a long day. So, with the 30s, I used my break-in formula and my pre-grip, and I did it the way I usually do it. And it's actually as soft as the 20s now. So
No kidding.
that's, oh yeah. My
good to know.
break-in formula is pretty badass. My break-in formula is pretty cool.
That's good to know, and I'm going to tell you why, Mark, is obviously you can't get voodoos. Okay, you can't get voodoos. So when you have Gary talking about drag race concepts, which you can get, and you can get the 30 compound, you can't get the 20 compound. Well, I got them, but I'm just kidding. So for you to say that, Gary, that's great. It's great news because you can get the 30 compounds today. Mm-hmm. So what you're saying right now is good news for people that can't get their hands on voodoos or trying to get tires. So that's awesome. I love it.
And I not to go into the tire thing a whole lot, but I hear that the Cyril tire is coming out with a upgraded belt support.
Okay.
Somebody mentioned that to me today. A fast guy that runs them and had some issues with them failing.
With the first
gen. Version of them.
We'll call it first gen.
Yeah. So those tires I hear are going to be excellent. And then I've tested the Exotec tire.
Yes.
That was just announced, and I think it's very similar to the Cyril 3D, the
V1 or the V2 coming.
The V2. I think that's I didn't break them.
You don't
when I ran them,
right.
So.
You don't know anything about them, but is the Exotec tire belted?
Yes.
Yes.
And
okay.
it's equal sidewall, and it's a soft compound rubber, so it's a good tire. I don't know if there's a tire that's going to compete with Voodoo right away.
Yeah,
but
right.
They're definitely a step up from a reaction. There's a lot of options for available tires coming.
There is, and I'm going to tell there's nobody.
And I'm a Voodoo guy. I mean,
I know you are. But hey, listen here, guys. Nobody knows what I'm getting ready to tell you. Anybody right now? It's just my wife, me, and that's it. The owner of Pitbull is coming on the show. He has a tire right now, but it's not belted. Okay. I tried to get him on the show in Vegas. He's like, Billy, wait, hold on, time. He goes, I got something coming. I want to come on the show to, bring it out to the whole world. So that tire's coming. I don't know nothing about it.
But it's not belted.
It is belted.
Oh, it is belted.
It is going to be belted. He has a tire right now that's non-belted. He didn't want to come on the show. He wasn't ready. I told him, I said, listen, when you're ready to announce that new Pitbull belted tire, let me know. So he's going to be He's going to be coming on the show with the new tire. I don't know when, but guys, stay tuned. That's coming in the near future.
I definitely recognize. I mean, I run Voodoos, but I recognize that there's a major issue with NPRC where you can't get the tire. That is a dominant tire, and there needs to be other options. Not that I don't want to see Voodoos sell out in a minute, but there needs to be options for people to go run.
It's tough.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the. That's one of the main issues right now in NPRC is everybody's going after these tires and nobody can get them.
Yep. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
What's the new Reaction 20? It's just not out yet. I have 50 sets on.
You're talking about the blue.
The
dot?
blue. He's talking about the blue.
I think if there's a tire to compete with the Voodoo Red or the Voodoo Gold, it's going to be that blue.
That
dot.
blue. Yeah.
That blue dot.
Well, I got 50 sets on back order.
That is a legit tire.
Listen, you guys will be the first to know because I'll have a mound of them.
Yeah. And you're going to sell those out in minutes. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
They're a contender.
Yeah, it's crazy. Cyril will get his stuff, and it will be good. Okay, Nicholas Steffi, thank you.
I have a lot of confidence in that guy. That guy he's been in the. It's funny. Somebody posted a YouTube video of him 15 years ago jumping in a house with an RC car.
No kidding.
And it's got 1 million views or something on it on YouTube. That guy's been in RC a long time. I didn't realize his history, but he's going to figure it out. I mean, it's just the first version of it. I'm confident that tire is going to be great.
I got to say something to somebody here, Mark. Where'd he go? I got to say something to this guy. Hold on. Gary Unser. Listen, Gary Unser's he has the way to make your own. Listen, I want people.
I wanted to talk about that too. Yeah.
Hold on. Gary Unser. I don't want nobody. I don't want to make my own. I want Gary Milos and Jeff Zuccarello and those guys to make it for me.
No,
I'm the type of guy, I'll just give you the money and give me the stuff.
There's a page that's like a homebrew page that there's some great information.
Which is cool.
About
I mean, that's
pine
awesome.
tar
yeah,
and how to make your own
listen,
stuff.
Gary Answer, I'm just kidding with you. But it's cool. Listen, that's for the guys that like to tinker. I don't tinker.
But out of that page, there's some great information. And
good.
Me and Frank Greer scrolled through. They're like, hey, look,
what's
we're using some of that stuff, right?
You know what? Let's give Gary Answer a shout out. What's the page, Gary Answer? Give me the page so we can get some people go check out your page.
I know there's homebrew in it, like Tire Prep Homebrew. Or
is it
something.
called
I'm on
homebrew?
it. Yeah.
Frank,
Prep
is it called homebrew?
Yeah, Tire Prep Homebrew.
Out of that, people will develop good stuff. I mean, there's definitely a value to that site where people try different combinations. And I would say, too, somebody asked me about chemical safety. And, I don't know what's in the majority of these and, it's nice to hear that Monster Grip has stuff that isn't really harmful to you. But I know a lot of this stuff has some massively harmful stuff. So it is a good practice, that we're talking about sauce. Use gloves.
Yep.
The well-ventilated area. It's not stuff that is easy on your body. It's hard on you. I know naphtha's hard on it.
Be careful with that stuff,
Any paint thinners, always use gloves. This stuff absorbs right through your skin. I know some of these preps have methanol in it, which absorbs right through your skin. So definitely use gloves and a well-ventilated area.
Brother, I wear gloves on everything. You never know what you're going to pick up.
Yeah.
Okay. So Gary Answer, that goes out to you, my friend. I see you all over. You just keep going and going and going. So that's out to you, Gary. What else? I got. Let's see if you can provide. Brent Clanton, we've discussed. That's going back to tires. We're not doing tires tonight.
Yeah.
You guys
No,
are
that's
doing.
a whole
Sorry, that's a
subject.
whole other segment, my friend.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Happy birthday, Wendy, if you're listening.
There you go. Happy birthday, Wendy. Don't try this at home.
Maybe we need to do, Frank, eventually for some reason when we go out to the track, Frank always has the most traction. Like he conditions his tires extremely well.
Yeah,
So
Frank.
One of these
what
days,
are you doing,
Frank, you'll have to get in here and do a special
Yeah,
on how you prep your tires.
No, we've already talked about that. You guys, after we get back from this next,
adventure.
we need to. You guys need to. I know. I'm off to Puerto Rico, dude.
Yeah.
Listen, and I'm gonna plug my Puerto Rico thing. It's going to be off the charts, guys. Turn on your notifications because when we're in Puerto Rico, I talked to somebody from Puerto Rico today. He's like, dude, you have no idea how many people are going to be here. It's crazy. So I just had to get my plug out there.
So I'm
jealous.
I wanted to also, I said this in the beginning of the video, and I wanted to just mention this towards the end of this video now is one prep won't be your solution.
No way.
And as much as I love Monster Grip right now, the reaction time prep that Tony makes and the Got Stuck that Jeff Zuccarello makes works extremely well.
Yep.
Those guys have been a big help, and I'm excited to see what we can do with Monster Grip now, and that's kind of been my go-to lately. But you need to have more options. And me and Frank Greer talked about this initially. If you think you have a prep that can compete with these, I think 3, juggernaut preps that are probably, in my opinion, probably the leading preps. Send it to Desert Hobbies.
Bring
or
it
send
on.
to Frank, or send it to me, and we'll test it against it. And I'm always this is probably one of the most important fields of research for being competitive in no prep. And if you think you got something, I know there might be 100 preps out there, and everybody thinks they're the best. Send me one. I'll even buy one to test it. I want to know what's the best. Right now, I feel these 3 are on top, with Monster Grip having a slight edge with this texture and these variables of different strengths. Right.
Nice.
So send it to Desert Hobbies or message me, and we would love to try it against what we feel is probably the best.
Everybody wants to talk about tires. Get out of here, Todd Dixon.
I never made a video after King of the Streets either, and I want to congratulate Sam for major.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, that you look at the progress of what happened last year, where Clay Keats and Letter were in the finals, and they were in the 220 range.
Yep.
And stock chassis on one of them, and you look at the progression now of the fastest pass that's ever been run in a large event won the event, and the fastest car won that event, and it's the fastest pass that I've ever heard of.
Crazy, right?
So to be there now with that kind of run I can't stress enough that it's important to share, and it's important to get people involved and get people up to speed and share some of this knowledge so that people aren't intimidated by performances like that. I mean, it's insane how fast that Sam and that team were. It's crazy.
I'm just kidding with you, Todd Dixon. I didn't mean Todd Dixon. I meant Jesse Kinder.
So anyway, congratulations, Sam, and the R1 team for that.
Hey, Craig Phillips is in the house. What's up, Craig?
Hey, I've been talking with him.
You know what's funny is I said something to Craig. I said, Craig, I talked to him too.
Yeah.
I never talked to him before I met you. Yeah, good dude. I talk to Craig all the time.
Yeah.
I'm just looking, man, you got all kinds of.
There could be some other changes happening here pretty soon, too. We're going to be testing some new stuff. I think there's a buzz around Facebook's been pretty crazy this week, but there's a buzz around Facebook on some new stuff we're going to test.
I stay off of Facebook, dude.
It's crazy.
I really do. I post and I do this. I bring you guys in, or I bring Foster, and that's it. I'm done. Facebook has got too crazy for me, my friend. Who else? I'm just looking for comments, bro.
We about ready to wrap up?
Yeah. Can you read hit those up there for me really quick on YouTube? See anything up there that catches your eye? Prep on front tires, Frank Testa. Frank, prep on front tires?
Yeah.
Really?
What?
Frank on prep on front tires?
Prep on front tires.
Never heard of it.
I just answered him on my.
I have put prep on wheelie bar tires.
Nice.
Yeah, wheelie bar tires, but not on front tires. You don't want that.
I actually have done when I raced it at a roller rink. I'm going to be honest with you. When I raced at a roller rink on that floor, I actually did prep the front tires, and believe it or not, it did help a little bit, but it was kind of a pain in the ass to remove, believe it or not.
Yeah, maybe on the roller rink, but
yeah, not outside.
Yeah, we're trying to pull traction out of the front tires.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it outside, but I did it at the roller rink, and it actually helped go straight.
The roller rink.
I don't see anything crazy.
Nothing up there on YouTube? No. Here, just kind of scroll through there, man, because they are loyal listeners, too.
Yeah, sure.
Just shoot through there real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, so Gary Milos, we're talking about his tire prep today. And, Gary, how do people get a hold of you?
Well, there's several ways you can get a hold of me. But if you go to my throttleduprc.com website, there is links there. You can get a hold of me. My actual direct cell number is 484-258-1600. That cell is specifically for Monster Grip and Throttled Up RC.
Oof.
And I have my Instagram. I have my Facebook pages. I have a private group. You can get to all of that pretty much from my my website.
throttleduprc.com. Go check him out,
it's
guys.
Right actually behind you.
What's that?
It's right behind you on the back.
Yeah, right here, buddy. I got it right here, man. throttleduprc.com, man. Make sure you go to his website. Go give some love to him. Check out what he has. We're talking about Gary Milos' tire prep. We've also talked about Zuccarello, Jeff, Get Stuck, Reaction T.
Yep.
Right.
Tony's
awesome, man.
He's the first prep we started running.
Yeah.
That was,
Tony is a good dude. You know what's crazy about Tony, man? He loves to use that 100%, don't he?
Yeah.
yeah,
He's an eccentric guy.
I
have
never seen a guy use 100 in a sentence so many times, Mark. I think he used it 20 times when him and I were talking.
And his, I was over at Smashy's pit at the finals for King of the Streets, and Smashy was putting on his 1.7 stuff, right? He felt that was the
his
prep
thing,
to go
yeah.
to, and Tony makes a great product. So
is that what Smashy was using?
Yeah.
Reaction T.
I wouldn't normally tell what people are using, but I know Smashy posted his carb setup, and he'd mentioned
with the tire prep. Okay, cool. He was actually Smashy was actually way back, man. he commented way back, dude.
He's an up and coming guy that's super smart and very fast. The stuff that I've told him, he's optimized. Like, we've had conversations, and he started running R1 stuff, and the guy doesn't give himself enough credit. Like, he's like, okay, I'm going to try this, and he optimizes information really well. He's a smart guy.
Yeah, he's fast. You're right.
He's very fast.
Where do you get pink lemonade? Tony Arellano is asking.
You message me. Direct message, Frank Greer. Thanks, Tony.
Frank, You got to have an extra number like Gary has.
1-800-TRACK.
Yeah. When Gary started giving out that number, I was like, no.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got, guys. Just a suggestion from the Dirt Oval Foam Tires. We never prep a tire. Hold on a second. Just suggestion coming from Dirt Oval Foam Tires. We never prep a tire, different prep on the same tire. We always use prep one tire with one sauce and another tire with another sauce. Just a suggestion.
Yeah, and me and Frank have talked about that because there was a time where one of my better GNSS times, we had tried a sauce that stuck really good, and then I napped it, and I'm anal about getting freaking really clean on the tire, right? I'm very meticulous to try and get everything off and put a different prep on, and it went faster. And then we kind of looked at each other like, was it because it was the prep before and then this prep?
Right.
So there could be some residue. There is some truth to that where I get a little nervous changing preps I pay attention to the order, and if some combination does good, then we kind of analyze that. So there is something to the residue of the previous prep to putting on the new prep, but we're cleaning it and sand. A lot of times we'll sand to make sure that we have a new layer of rubber. So the contamination of preps is pretty minimal.
Yeah, got it. Hey, listen, I live in a world where I share everything, okay? This is the way it is. I'm a neutral dude. So I'm going to let you go down this road, Joe Graziano and Jason Collins. Mr. Green's Tire Rotisserie, never heard of it, but there you go.
Now, we did
no clue.
Didn't we, Frank, didn't we order a few of the the tire rotating things?
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
I think Mario did, but they're not Mr. Greens. I thought it was somebody else.
Yeah, there is some products out there now that have a little tray underneath, and it spins the tire through the prep.
Oh, boy.
And I think those are going to be pretty good.
Really?
That's kind of what we do, too.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You can't just...
When you condition a tire, you introduce...
Is it because the tire sits in the prep as it's turning?
Well, you give it time, right? You
Interesting.
expose the rubber. Yeah, like Frank's Pink Lemonade, you expose the rubber to Pink Lemonade for a half an hour, and it's a different type of rubber.
No kidding, huh?
Yeah.
So a hot dog machine.
That's Greer has showed up before with a hot dog machine.
Have you really, Frank?
Oh yeah.
Well, hold on. So did you cook the hot dogs next to the tire prep?
Yeah, no, I would never use that hot dog machine again for hot dogs.
Justin Schultz. It's me and Joe Graziano. Okay, dude, I'll give you guys. Listen, guys, if you guys want to come on the show and talk about your rotisserie thing, I'm here. I'm open. That's what I'm here for.
There's a few that if the guy that we bought from, I'm excited to try it, but it's got a little tiny motor that
that's what it is. Justin Schultz.
Justin Schultz. Yeah, guys, if you want to come on the show and promote your stuff, man, that's what I'm here for, man. We only charge $1,000 an hour, dude. It's cheap.
Well, maybe if Frank, maybe another good show would be if once we get those rotisseries, is we can kind of show how.
Dude, I see you guys out with these rotisseries now. I picture hot dogs everywhere.
You gotta get one.
We've actually been doing that for a while.
That's crazy. That's cool. I mean, you listen. I'm gonna tell everybody right now. If you guys know what works, it works. So everybody go buy hot dog machines.
I bought a few off of Amazon to try and copy what Frank's doing, and it spun too slow. Or like shit, I got 3 hot dog machines sitting in my house.
There he is. There's Tony right there. Reaction T, 100%, haha, 100%. There he is. Cool, man. So Gary, anything else in the pipeline? You got anything new besides what you have right now coming out?
What, do you mean prep-wise or anything else-wise? I just want to clarify.
Prep-wise, my friend. Prep.
No. What? Well, the pre-order for the brand new G-Force that was helped to create by Mark and Frank, that pre-order is starting tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow. Okay.
But nothing yet other than the crawl formula that is out. There is nothing new coming out yet until we find another hurdle that we need to fill a spot for and make a new prep for.
Yeah, I think they're going to have the majority of the roads covered for all the different combinations, just figuring out what combination works.
Hot dog filled, prep filled hot dogs.
No, some of the conditioners out there, I don't know how far we want to go into this, but it changes the way that the whole tire feels. And I
Yeah,
know,
no, it's good to know these things because listen. There's a lot of guys watching, Frank, and you, Mark. You guys put the time in to figure this stuff out.
well, and this is Frank's world, right? This is Frank spends. I put a lot of time into tune and the car setup, and Frank spends a ton of time on tires and traction. And you know, a funny story when his conditioner first came out was, I'm cleaning tires. I'm cleaning like a big group of tires, like 8 sets of tires or something. I'm cleaning them, and I feel a set of tires, and I think it was like Chris Short's tire, and I'm like, what the hell is on this tire? It feels really soft. And Frank's like, oh, that's, you know, I conditioned him with stuff that I think this was even before he was starting to sell it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't even know what you did, but I can feel a red Voodoo compared to a red Voodoo. And if I close my eyes, I could pick out those two tires in a lineup of tires because they felt so different. And the conditioner world now, there's a few of them out there now, and they've blown up to make a lot of traction. And it's something that Frank's been doing for a while, but it really works. I mean, it changes the entire feel of the tire. You can he gave me a blue tire in San Diego that made more traction than my red tire because it was conditioned and exposed to his conditioner for, you know, hours to soften it up. So it's
it was hours of conditioning.
That was surprising because normally a blue doesn't even come close to the amount of traction as a red. And when you gave me those tires and I turned to faster time, I'm like, how's that even possible with a blue? It doesn't even make sense.
Hey, Frank, this question is for you. This is actually a pretty good question. RCDR1000, he says, or she, I don't know, can I use pink lemonade every week? Will it make a difference the more I use it? Good question.
So yes and yes. What we do is we condition every round. We'll clean the tire. I'll put the conditioner on, bake it in, and then prep. That's my routine every round. And the more rounds you go, you'll notice your tire gets better and better.
Yeah, I think the tire I ran in King of the Streets might have 70 passes on it. Like I've been running those forever because the more you cycle, the softer and grippier the rubber gets.
Yeah, it's a better working tire.
Just looking, guys. Jesus, man, I can't keep up.
Are we testing this weekend, Frank?
Yeah, we can.
You always testing.
I got some new stuff
Hey,
to try.
let me ask you guys a question. Frank,
we need to.
you were in Vegas and you were in Vegas, Mark. Mm-hmm. Who else ran a 168?
Nobody.
In the 5th round.
Nobody else.
Nobody.
In the 5th round.
Sam.
Hold on. Where'd he go?
I crunched the data of what they put out.
Jerry Baxter?
There was so you have to watch if there's a cross and somebody crosses in somebody else's lane, it can be a false run. So there was like I think Smashy had a 171 or something, but that was the time where Rockwell crossed in front of him and broke the beam first.
Gotcha.
So I think there's a few false runs from people tripping the other lane or hitting the sensor and it trips. I think the only true 1.6 was Sam.
Gotcha. Okay. I just saw that Christina Danzy Peterson. Bill Seiler just says there was somebody else too. Who was it, Bill?
I could be wrong. I mean,
no, it's cool.
I took the data and
I'm
put
just
it in
curious.
Excel, right, and I started analyzing who ran what times and looked at how bad I got whooped.
Frank, this question goes out for you. Tire question for Frank. In the drag bike world, recommended prep or prep work for foam and or rubber tires?
The conditioner or the prep?
He doesn't say. Wait, in the drag bike world, recommended prep or prep work for foam and or rubber tires?
Yeah, I mean, I would, if you're running a rubber tire, I would definitely prep it. But if you're running a foam tire, I think there's special preps for foam tires.
Right.
Ours
Right.
works too.
Say that. Say that again.
Ours actually works on our formula, our OG grip, and this guy has actually asked me too before. He's actually asked me before. I know who that is, Scott Crawford. Our formulas have actually been tested on every tire. Our OG grip, Now, I wouldn't recommend going past our OG grip because I honestly think it would rip the tire. But on foam tires, our OG grip actually works extremely well, even on foam tires. It has been tested, and believe it or not, outside too, but also inside and on carpet. It actually works really well.
I know when I ran Pro Mod for a little bit, the stuff I used was called Crawford.
Right there. Here. Jeremy Recker says is it Crawford?
Crawford. It's Crawford.
It's Crawford.
Crawford.
It's like honey, nasty, thick stuff. It's
so you have to use a hot dog machine to put it on.
Yeah. Well, there's a local that runs the 4-wheel drive and test. all the time.
Daniel Hickson.
Yeah, he just rapes the road.
He rapes the road. When he takes off, it goes.
Yeah, it's like you knew he was out there even a week after because these huge lines.
Yes, yes, I love Daniel Hickson.
Yeah,
Great guy, man.
He's a good guy. Fast car.
So he did run a 1.6. Jerry Baxter. Fifth round, 1.68.
Very cool.
Anyway,
Sorry, Jerry, I didn't know.
No worries. Let's see. Where was it? Where'd it go? This is going back out to you, Frank. This guy right here drives me crazy, man. This guy right here. Good grief, this guy. No, he's always he every time I go live, dude, he comes on and does the stupidest. Yeah, I do put that because they'll block him.
That's funny.
He's a chump.
Yeah.
I hate this guy. It's not a drag racer, guys. It's some dude that goes on here and he puts stupid stuff on my freaking YouTube. So I got to report him. So give me a second. There, take that, buddy. Okay, Frank, this goes to you. RCDR 1000 says condition every round, but remove it with brake cleaner before you put prep?
No, so my conditioner, it soaks in and it's not greasy. That's the nice thing about being able to use it race day. You're not going to have a greasy tire. You're going to have a real grippy feeling tire.
Yeah, when we were testing that stuff, kind of when you were making it, you could get to a point where you do it every time and it would kind of get greasy. And then Frank, you changed the formula a little bit, and
yeah,
it now it seems like you can use it every time and the tire completely dries. So I use it naphtha is like the ultimate, or I don't know, I don't use a lot of brake cleaner, but naphtha seems like it fully dries. If it ever got greasy, naphtha will take it out.
Okay.
But now I don't think I've used that stuff every round, and it seems I don't ever really feel a sliminess or anything to the tire. It always dries fully.
Yeah. Let's see. I got some more here. Leon Kiggins. This is for you, Mark. How long you doing a burnout? How long do you do a burnout for?
Now, because it's so freaking sticky, I will run the motor. I'll spin the tire above the ground and just touch the tire on the ground.
That's it.
Because I don't want to load the ESC to try and break the tires loose when you stick them on the ground, because the car sticks to the ground.
Right.
Bad.
Gotcha.
So if you stick the tire to the ground and then try and do a burnout, there's a massive load on the ESC. So I'll run the tire above the ground, touch it on the ground, and I'll touch it on the ground long enough to know that it's pulling really hard. And there are instances where either you got super thick prep on it, or there's not, all the moisture didn't go away, and you'll feel it slip a little and then grab.
Okay.
So I want to feel that grab before I stop the burnout. 99% of the time, it's instant. It grabs, I'm done.
You're done.
It maybe spun a revolution on the ground, and that's it. But I think the burnout's important, because there are times where I stick it on the ground and I don't feel anything, and then I let it burn out for a second, and it starts grabbing.
Then you can feel it.
Then when it grabs, I'm good. Yeah.
How about you, Frank?
What's that?
I don't know.
For the burnout?
No. Yeah, I got it right here. Yeah, on the burnout.
So it's pretty much the same thing. I just like to feel the pull. They'll usually bark for a little bit, but once that bark turns into a pull, I stop.
You kind of get a feel for it. There's a feeling you get when you know it's ready.
Yeah. This is for you, Mark. Mark, you use naphtha or brake clean. We just talked about that. Well, let me ask you, did you say you use naphtha all the time, or do you go back and forth?
Yeah.
I use naphtha all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, so
Perfect.
I think Frank actually has a tub of naphtha, and he will run his tire. It's a great way to clean. Earlier you talked about kind of a difficulty of cleaning off the X.
Right.
And I had that also, where I tried to put some naphtha on it, and the stuff's pretty stuck, and Frank cleaned it off in like 30 seconds with a tub of naphtha, and a little scouring pad on the bottom.
Okay.
And he would just dip it in naphtha, and it would freaking fall right off. Like it was great.
That was
the
for you.
drill.
That was for you, Jeremy White.
Yeah, you had a drill.
Yeah, I put the tire on the drill.
Yep. That worked extremely well.
Hey, this is from Todd Dixon. Do you put pink lemonade on the tire and then bag it ever, Frank?
Oh yeah, yep. At the end of the race day, I'll do that, and the day before race day, I'll condition the tires just to get them going.
Got Launch says Jerry is the fastest Hawaii guy over there. Super fast guy. That's from Got Launch. Bill Chamna says, I wonder what X would do on carpet as it has texture in it.
Oh, I don't know. That's it. Yeah, I don't know.
Good. Hey, call.
It's a whole nother
you know what? Who
world.
you call? You call Eric Dink.
Yeah, that's right. He's a big carpet guy.
Call
Yeah,
Eric
yeah.
Dink, dude. He'll answer that for you all day, every day.
It's such a cool, things are getting really defined, and there's not a lot of there's always going to be changes or innovation, but that's one that caught me by surprise when I saw that. I'm like, man, that's a freaking good idea.
Yeah.
The texture is a really good idea.
You know, this is for the round table, really quick. I know we're kind of getting late here, but
Yeah.
but there's some really nice. I like these questions. This will go. Let's shoot off to Frank on this one. What surface is your favorite surface, Frank?
Concrete.
Mark?
I think asphalt.
Asphalt.
Yeah.
Okay. Gary?
I hate wood.
What?
I hate wood. I have raced on all of them, and I think I would go with concrete, but I do like asphalt as well, as long as it's not sealed. Sealed asphalt's kind of a pain.
Yeah, that's what we race on Sundays, is sealed asphalt.
Yeah.
Down
Sealed
Claire
asphalt
or
is a pain.
Coys? That's a
Coys.
slurry, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's like an oil topped slurry asphalt. But
Yeah.
surprisingly, last time we went out there, we were low 1/8. Like we've kind of
Yeah, but go back to when you first started
Oh,
going
you
out
couldn't
there.
even go down
You
the
couldn't even
track.
go down the
No,
track, right?
no.
Yeah.
No, you can't go down. Nope.
Yep. Hey, you know what, Todd Dixon? I will reach out to Eric Dink. He owes me a show, so I will get him on here to do an on-road show one day. You're right on that one. We've been talking about that for a long time. I'm just going to finish up. Craig Phillips. Mark, have you ever raced in any other colored shoes?
No.
It's easy.
Nope.
Here we go. Double check everything. We're good over there. Okay, Gary, time to start plugging your company. Let's go.
It's right behind you.
You got to talk about it, though, brother.
What do you want me to say? Tell me.
Brother, it's your
Say it.
company. Talk about your prep. Talk about where people can find you. Give us
Give
the
the-
juice.
yeah, give the
us
locations.
Give
Give
us
the
the
location
give
of
us
how you
the
get it.
prep.
Well, location is going to be my house, which I'm not giving you my address because I don't want to see you guys. No, I'm only kidding. So throttleduprc.com. I only sell online, but I have. I want to give BMF, Custom RC, and Keith West a shout out. They are actually dealers of mine. I do have dealers all over the country. One in Canada, which is Wood Strapaniak is my dealer and a driver for me in Canada. If you go onto my throttleduprc.com website and you hit up the dealer page, I started a dealer zone. That's what it's called. If you go in there, you can see every dealer that I have around the country and where they're located to see if there was one local to you. But you can find me on Facebook. If I gave my number already, if you missed it, oh well. I just, I sell online, and if I go to events and I have a dealer that's at an event, I do not sell. I help promote, but I let them make the money.
Nice.
That's cool.
I love it. Frank, your turn.
Well, you can get pink lemonade through me personally, Frank Greer. Just send me a message and I'll take care of you. I got 4-ounce bottles, jugs, gallons, whatever you need, I got you.
55 gallons.
55 gallons, anything you want.
Yeah,
Hot dog machines.
you need it. Yeah, you need prep lessons. We can figure it out. Hit me
Ooh,
up.
prep
I got
school.
you.
I've seen Frank help people at the track, and it makes a big difference on how you apply and condition the tire. And it's cool.
I can't say it, but I texted you something the other day. That would be cool to do. I texted you something that I want to do in the future.
Yeah.
That would be cool to do prep school.
Yeah.
That would be really cool, man.
Yep. That would be.
Yes. Frank, I'm going to message you after this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not about prep school.
Yeah.
I want to send you something else. What about you, man? What do you got racing-wise? What are you doing this year?
Super Chips for sure. I think King of the Smokies. I think Frank and Chris Schwartz are going to. Where are you guys going to? New Mexico or something like that soon?
The Cave Down Meltdown.
Yeah.
Or the Meltdown.
Yeah, Meltdown.
Crap, I should know this, dude.
I don't think
he texts me every day.
I don't think I'm going to make that because I'm trying to unpack from moving. I've been doing that for seems like the last year, but that sounds like a good race, and then we'll all be at Super Chips. And
There's like 5 of them.
Yeah, there's the series race going on between Arizona and California.
Correct.
I think me and Frank are tied for first right now.
Oh, nice. So that's going to end up in King of Smokies.
No, this is a Arizona, California.
Right. Got it.
There's one more race here coming up.
I forgot about that. Yep.
And then there's 3 in San Diego. So I think we'll be attending that. I don't know, Frank. What else? I don't know of anything off. There's races that once they come up pretty close, we'll go, okay, let's all go to this one. Right?
Yeah. I was just curious.
Great line.
Oh, absolutely. Scotty's race.
Scotty's race.
Going to do that.
Yep.
And I think the redemption race that we did last year, I know Sean.
Topeka? You going to that?
Yeah, I'd like to try and make it to that. I think it was a hard surface to get down. It's kind of unique. I want to try it again, so be kind of cool.
He's doing 3 tracks this year.
I'm not sure, but he's doing instant green. I don't think I would show up or travel long distance for a 4/10 tree anymore.
No more, huh?
No.
Instant green.
I wouldn't do that either.
How about I was going to ask you, Frank. You too? Instant green or nothing?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got to be instant green.
Nice.
I got screwed on that light, but I didn't say anything about it. It's just, you know what I mean. It is what it is. But I wouldn't go back out and do a pro tree or whatever.
Yeah, there's too big of a variable to travel long distance and get a red light, especially if you don't agree with.
Got it.
It's too big of a variable to put money into traveling.
All you race promoters and out there, listen to this.
Yeah, and I'm confident we're not the only people that feel like that.
I'm sure. And as the more races that people do, the more. I do have to do this since you guys brought it down. It's called the Cave Town Meltdown. It's Saturday, May 7th. It's in Carlsbad, New Mexico. They wanted me to come. I can't, dude. I'm everywhere. I just can't. I'd love to come down to Cave Town Meltdown. If you guys want to go to Carlsbad, New Mexico, go check him out. He's got a slew of sponsors. So
sounds like a great race.
Yeah,
I wish I could make it.
Yeah, check that out. Somebody said something here. How about a show just for those in the first or second year? I know my boy and I have a lot to learn. How about first or second year? What have we done in a year? Jeez. See ya, Craig. Phillips is gone. I think that's it, man. You going to Salt Lake City?
Salt Lake City.
When is that?
Did you guys go there last year? Yeah. Salt Lake Clash?
I can't remember.
That's the one of me and Taylor.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Did I go to that, Frank?
No, you didn't make that one.
Okay. I was going to say, I don't think I remember that.
You didn't go that one.
Went to Colorado.
You got it. Hey, listen. If you guys, Frank, this is an extended invitation to you guys. Abel Lips is getting married up there.
Oh, that's right.
He's getting married. Listen.
I got to try.
So we have to make it.
Yeah, we have to try.
If you can make it, Frank, I'd love to see you and you,
No,
Mark.
those two mean a lot to us.
Yeah, they're getting married. So if you guys don't know this, if nobody knows this,
do I have to dress up?
yes, you have to dress up as Spider-Man. If you guys can make that, man, think about it.
Yeah, no, that would be a cool event too.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So I'd love to see you guys up there.
Yeah. Send me the information on that, on when it is.
I'll do it right now.
I'll see if I can work it out.
Yep. C and Abel getting married. Who's doing Denver this year? You know, I forgot about that.
Colorado.
Philip Staub, actually, man. Oh, God. Philip Staub.
He put on a great race last
He did.
year.
He does that. But the problem is, man, I love Philip, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it because he asked me in Vegas, hey, are you live streaming Mile High Mayhem? And then one right back to back, Tyler Zavino comes up, hey, you're doing the birthday bash? You doing it? I go, guys, you guys realize I am booked.
Yeah.
You know, but they know me, man. Hey, but there are 2 races that I would love to talk about before we go. I'll make it fast. Sure. I'm doing 2 races that nobody knows about. I'm doing the one in Yuma. This is the sand drags and sled pull. Kurt, off the wall drag racing. If you guys want to see something different, some different racing.
When is that?
I'll get you the info.
Okay.
You know what? I don't know, and I feel bad.
No, I wanted to build a car for that. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be
We
cool.
need to build. We need to build. We need to build something.
Wendy
some 12S
or
monster.
CC, guys, look up off the wall drag racing. Let me know when his race is because I already have. So I'm providing the sled.
Yeah, I saw that.
The sled pull.
Yeah.
It's actually up front in that
That's
big
an
box.
ESC killer right there.
Yeah, perfect. So, guys, I'm going to be live streaming that race in Yuma, and I'm going. My wife's going to kill me right now, dude. I'm going to be live streaming a sand drag race only. It's sand drag races, paddle tires, the whole 9 yards in Huntington Beach, California.
RC?
Yes.
RC sand drag.
Yes.
That's what I thought Curtis was.
He's doing kinda. This is on Huntington Beach, on the beach. It's a whole thing.
I need to know the rules. I want to build a car.
Rules.
It's
sand drags, man.
Well, I mean, there's a lot. He can do a lot of stuff. I mean,
I know.
can show up
I
with a
don't know the
dragster.
rules. I'll get you that. But I just want to put that out there, guys. I'm doing a little more different this year.
Yeah.
I enjoy that stuff. Is super fun to me.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And it's just a hop, skip, and a jump. So I'm off the wall RC drag racing. Go find Curtis. I always forget his last name. Jeez.
I just know him by Curtis.
Huh?
I already know Mark's going to show up with a half jet ski front end.
I know. He's going to have paddle tires this big.
Yeah, right.
So I want to give shout-outs to those guys. Curtis Harris.
There you go, yep.
And the guy out of California, I don't know his name off the top of my head, but we'll be doing sand drags in Huntington Beach.
Yeah, I think that would be
Yeah.
that'd be fun.
It's going to be something different.
Yeah.
Guys, we've been on the show 2 hours. Thank you, John Fullwider. I appreciate that. Huntington Beach is my old stomping grounds.
That'd be fun. If the timing's right, I'd like to try to make. Maybe I'll tag along with you if you're gonna.
Yeah.
Up there.
You drive with me, man.
Yeah.
What else? I'll get you guys all the dates. I'll post it up on Facebook of the races I'm doing. You got to check it out. It's going to be pretty fun. Leon Kiggins, thank you, my friend. Everybody over there, Visalia RC Drag Racing. I know I didn't get to you, man, but I love you, Matt. I just got a lot going on, man. I'm trying to keep up with all these comments. Anything else,
Thank
guys?
you, Billy.
Oh, brother, man, mi casa, su casa.
Yep. Mark, thank you, and Gary, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Frank.
Absolutely, buddy. Thank you.
Hey, Tim Cedarberg is a great guy, and if there are newbies out there, I'm going to throw this out there, Tim, because I know you. If you guys are getting new into RC drag racing, reach out to Tim Cedarberg. He's actually a damn good guy, and he's really knowledgeable to help the beginners. So find him on Facebook. His name's Tim Cedarberg. I know he will not care that I did that. I hope not.
He's a good guy.
Gary Milos, brother, I thank you for what you. I mean, I know we kind of got off track there towards the end, but dude, everything you're doing out there is absolutely amazing. I see you everywhere. You see me stalking you. Every time Gary goes live, I always pop in and see what he's doing.
Well, cool. I hope this.
I'm the goofball that goes live more than anybody else in the world. What can I say?
What did he say?
I'm not sure he cut out right before.
What'd you say, Gary?
Everything else.
Oh, I said I'm the goofball that goes live more than anybody else in the world, so it's all good.
Perfect, because I don't anymore. I was supposed to be on a break. All right.
Hey, actually, you know what? For people that I just wanted to throw this out there, every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm in Pennsylvania for those that don't know what Eastern Time is, I do a live show called The Garage on my Throttled Up RC page on Facebook. And what it is it's literally I try to do an informational video of and usually lasts about 2 hours long. It's usually between 8 and 10. I try to have guests on there as much as I can, and we take questions. We answer questions about RC in general. So just something to think about, guys.
Love it.
Cool.
Sweet. Awesome. What days is that? When do you do that?
It's Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time to 10 p.m. Eastern time usually.
Gotcha. And then I want to give a shout out to Jay Joseph. He just commented on my shirt. Hey, man, Gary Campbell's my buddy.
Yo.
Speaking of Jay Joseph, I'll see you in 2 weeks, dude. We're going to Puerto Rico. Much love for everybody. Everybody on YouTube, I see all your comments, and I thank you. I didn't see anything caught my eye as far as asking these guys. These guys do have a lot to do. They got to go home to their families, and Mark's got to go and finish up his house.
Unpacking.
Yeah. When are you going to be done with that, you think?
Probably next year.
Never.
Guys, thanks everybody for joining in. I mean, seriously, man.
Have a good night, everybody.
It was fun. Frank, love you, brother. Appreciate you. Gary Milos,
Thank you, man.
I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thanks, Gary, for all the stuff. I appreciate it. Thanks, Frank.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, Jay Joseph, 2 weeks, dude. I'll see you. Hey, Jay Joseph, I got something for you in Puerto Rico, brother. I got a little gift for you. So I'll see you in Puerto Rico. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
Anytime. You know that. Anytime. We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Anyway, guys, we're out of here. I'll see you guys. I don't know when. Just watch my Facebook, and I'll post up when we're doing something live. Oh, and thanks to everybody today. Today we did a crazy waffle. Go back and watch the video from today. It's absolutely funny and good stuff. And Foster, what's up, Foster? I do have one more shout. Oh, guys, help me out. Help me. Christina Dancy Peterson, you know who she is. She's a damn good she's a good friend of the show. She supports everything that we do, and I support her. Go find RC Wives and help me get her to the winner's circle. There's 6 girls competing against something. I don't even know what it is. But Christina Dancy Peterson, find RC Wives, watch the video, like the video. I appreciate it. We are out of here. I'll see you guys next time. Gary Milos, Frank Greer.
Peace.
Later, boys.